The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. For the best in below-the-waist grooming, visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off. That is manscaped.com. What'd you do Monday night?
Okay, we don't need... I was going to tell you about that, but the two things are not related, probably, maybe.
Real quick, Ryan, what was the number one advice that Mary's doctor gave?
That was not the number one advice.
He said to stop drinking.
That was Mary, not the number one advice. The number one advice was to eat a low residue diet, okay, and to make sure I'm getting enough nutrients and to stop, being a skeleton. And I did all of those things.
So you can only take one piece of advice at a time?
Yeah.
It chooses one. It's like Lent.
Thank you. Thanks. You know what? At least
not an either or.
I'm really happy that our new lackluster sidekick / co-host is here because.
Did you just call Nick lackluster?
She just wait, am I the lackluster one?
You called him that. I'm happy he's here.
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studios. It's time for the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. The good, the bad, and the funny.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
That's right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family, and number 3 by the Orlando Weekly Readers. We are the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on all of our social media, all of our links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise and become a Clubhouse member, a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon, and for as low as $2 a month, you can watch us record all of our episodes live as they're happening on our Discord. You can interact with everybody. It's a super fun time. And then most of the time we are streaming on Twitch. That's Twitch TV/NNF podcast. My name is Scott. I am the host. We've got a whole slew of characters this week. My co-host, the queen of getting sick, Mary. She is everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sarah.
Hello.
Our emotional support gay, Nick.
Hey.
Our producer, Alex.
What's up, everybody on podcast land?
Hooah! And sitting in for Chris this week, we've got Game Master Ryan.
Hello. And
the sophisticated gentleman.
You want forgiveness? Get religion.
It's got to be some sort of gangster movie. James Bond.
Godfather. No, it's the same movie I did last time. It's Spider-Man 3 again.
Damn it.
So clever. Okay, so we came in third in Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando contest. So that was super exciting. That was always the goal, was top 3. We did it. So moving on, Sarah, do you have a Jimmy Carter watch for us?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. He has officially entered hospice care and is in the final chapter of his life.
I thought that already happened and he was eating ice cream. Sarah, why did you lie to us?
I thought he's been in hospice this whole time.
It says he is in hospice and entering his final chapter with his wife who has dementia as of May.
How long of a chapter is this? Like a chapter out of War and Peace?
This is a chapter that you have to take multiple exams for, Mary. You should know and relate very well.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
It says that he's very tired, being that he's almost 99 years old, but that he's totally with it.
99 problems, but a funeral ain't one.
You said his wife has dementia. That's perfect, because when he passes, she's not going to realize. That's what I want. I want my wife and I to live so old that we just don't remember and have no idea what's going on. Ryan, you looked shocked and appalled.
I'm not going to catch that low-hanging fruit with that one.
Scott, I thought you already had dementia. You forgot my show 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
That's something that someone won't forget or let go. You're like Elsa, or you're not like Elsa. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Good joke.
So, yes, Jimmy Carter is in his final days. He was booked to be on the podcast in a month from now. So doesn't look like that's going to happen So very sad. Very sad.
It might. You never know. It's lasted this long.
You never know.
Who wouldn't want to be on the number 3 podcast in Orlando?
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, who would be turning that down?
He's probably waiting it out to do this episode.
He's broken 2 records already. All right. He's the oldest president to still, to be alive. Right. And then he's the only one to make it to the 40th anniversary of his inauguration.
Wow.
So you never know.
Wow. He also set another record. It's a little known record. And he passed Joe from the Diz Is podcast for most ice cream cones eaten in one sitting. So congratulations, Jimmy Carter.
Wow. Jimmy Carter.
Yes.
I always hate it when we talked about Jimmy Carter in elementary school because the number one fact they would always say is he was a peanut farmer. And then they would like bring out the peanut snacks or whatever. Well, I have a peanut allergy. And I always felt very uncomfortable during the discussion of Jimmy Carter. Like he's the one that I always had a little bit of beef with.
Sophisticated gentleman, I feel a little uncomfortable with how you say peanut.
Yeah, me too. Nick perked up.
You say peanut.
Peanut.
It almost sounds
I'm
like
not Southern like y'all.
Like y'all.
You said y'all.
Yeah, we're not really that Southern either.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
what's funny, sophisticated gentleman, is when you put it with a word that begins with S, it gets Nick very, very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. So, Mary and Sarah and Nick, our kids all started school.
Oh God.
Yes.
So, how many kids? How many of our kids have cell phones? Now, my kids are older, so all 3 of them have cell phones. Sarah,
Nope, not mine.
neither.
Oh,
Neither.
great. All 5 of mine.
Yeah, Mary
Jesus.
spoils her kids so much that they were born, and instead of a bottle, she just said, "Here's your cell phone. Order order from Uber
It's
Eats."
true. Uber Eats yourself some of that breast milk, kid. I'm sure it's farm fresh. Look, yeah, all 5 of them have cell phones.
And what age did they get cell phones?
8. We have a hard, fast rule in our house.
That's not
8.
bad. Abby got hers probably about 9 or 10. I know Darren got his at around 8. And then Michaela was probably about the same.
Why does that seem so young?
Because it is, Sarah. It's because it
really
is very
is.
young. Here's the problem.
Everybody makes fun of me for being old. Sarah's really the oldest one here. Maybe not in age, but just in mentality.
Yeah, she's the most mature.
I really, though, I was not allowed to have a cell phone until I was 13. And the only reason that I was allowed to have one at that age was because I was traveling to the other side of the world by myself. And my
Sarah,
parents made sure that I knew that. I wish. Oh my God. No, but I think about that all the time. Like, oh my God, the girls having a cell phone, what kind of trouble could they get in with that?
Well, they could get into a lot of trouble. If I may I tell a cell phone tale?
Yes, please. Now, I wasn't
Please
allowed,
do.
real quick, I wasn't allowed to have a cell phone until I was like 21, but that's because they just weren't invented yet.
They literally didn't have
They
those
didn't
or
exist.
fire
I
yet.
had a beeper, which we had fire, Mary. But we had to rub 2 sticks together.
Yeah, that's not all you're rubbing together. Okay, so listen, picture it like Mary, 2023. So Dexter, we moved recently, and Dexter lost his cell phone during the move.
So that to
no
me
idea.
means no cell phone. Like if they've lost their cell phone, no cell phone for at least a year.
Okay, so he had no cell phone for at least 10 days. We got him a new cell phone.
Love
But,
life lessons.
Yes, it was a good, hard-earned life lesson, but here's where it was part of a life lesson is it was a part of his birthday gift. So part of his birthday gift was, here's a new cell phone.
So he didn't get anything else for his birthday then?
I wouldn't go that far. I'm not
So
a
it wasn't a
terrible
birthday.
mother.
It was here's a
It
cell
was
phone.
part
Now
of
here's your
it.
birthday.
It was part of his birthday gift. Okay, listen. So Zoe's phone has kind of been on like the crapper for a little while. And we for a few months, we've been going through this issue where I cannot, like, I can call her usually. And like, I'll send a text, but it doesn't always say delivered. Like, it doesn't go through really.
That's just her ignoring you.
no, she can't call me. She cannot text me. Like it was not working. And for a little bit, I shared an Apple ID with them just so I could like see everything they were doing. But then also they could see everything I was doing. So like I couldn't send any risque pictures to the mister because like it would pop up on their phone. So lesson learned that way. I digress though. So this has been going on for a hot minute, and her phone finally like really like just like kind of kaput. And she's in high school now. She can't have a ratchet phone. Like she's at Lake Mary High School. She's got to keep up with the other kids. So we finally gave in and ordered her a new phone. Got her cute little Kate Spade case to go on it. That
way she can arrange her bleacher dates.
Well, exactly. She is going to the game this Friday. She's very excited. Listen, I text her and it's still, she couldn't text me back. She was trying to text me and nothing's coming through. And I was like, what is going on? Y'all, I had her blocked for some reason. I don't know how, but I had blocked my own kid.
So you got her new phone, but she was blocked.
The entire time it was because I accidentally had my own child blocked.
Sarah Mary had me blocked for about 6 months also. Or at least that's what she says, because she never responds to my text either.
God.
So
I couldn't believe it. But then part of me was like, this is a ploy. I think she blocked herself. Because how would I have done that?
That's brilliant.
How would I have done it? And she is so smart. She's
really
so
smart to do.
freaking smart.
That's brilliant.
I would not put it past her. But yeah, she's got a brand new phone. Cute little.
It's interesting. She may be the better you. She's a lot smarter and she's a hell of a lot funnier and probably more reliable. So let's get her on the podcast.
Funnier,
you can take
prettier.
time off.
She is everything I wish I was. She's all that and a bag of chips, y'all. Like seriously, this kid. I am just in awe. And I wish I would have thought of it, honestly. But when I realized I had blocked her and I wasn't even going to tell Mike Greedy. That's what happened when I found out. I was just going to let it slide and be like, oh my gosh, I can text Zoe. She ratted me out. She told on me. So I just get a call from him. He's away on a business trip. I've been single momming it for a few days. And he's like, so when were you going to tell me? And I'm like, oh crap, am I in trouble? What did I do? And I was like, I'll tell you what. He's like, you weren't going to tell me? And I was like, tell you what? He's like, you blocked your own child. It sounds a lot worse. I didn't do it. I am a victim of circumstance.
Here we go.
I don't know what happened. I didn't do it. I think she did it because she's smart. I don't know.
It's
Anyways,
brilliant.
Back to school, y'all. Woohoo! It's great.
All right. Normally I'd save this for a little bit, but it's a quite long one. So, but
you don't say that very often. That's why.
Yeah.
There you go. You guys ready for Travels and Tribulations?
Yeah.
Always.
Yes.
All right. Every week, the sophisticated gentleman is out and about, finding new things, trying to find this holy grail, so the Amish will leave him alone. So let's see what the sophisticated gentleman is up to this week.
What shall it bring when the gentleman rings on Travels and Tribulations?
Hey there, NNF folks. I was able to get to that tunnel beneath the library to try to follow this map. And according to the map, there's 3 different sections I'll be traveling through. The first appears to be a theater of some sort. The second is a golf course, and the third is some kind of tunnel. Now that I'm here at the theater, it looks like it's set up for a pretty exciting show. Hold on, is this a stunt spectacular? Hold on, wait a minute. Game Master Ryan's on the show tonight. I know he doesn't like this show, so I don't want to upset him in any way. I respect the guy too much.
Blue-balled me.
Hold on, what if they're setting up for a different show?
It's the Muppet Show with our very special guest, Batman.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
All right, right, it looks like they're about to start the first act. I think it's a comedy act.
This here is the Reverend Johnny Hugh Matheson. I am here to tell you to not listen to the Black Lincoln Collective podcast.
That is pretty funny. I mean, who wouldn't want to listen to the Black Lincoln Collective podcast? Also, for the people who say I've been recycling segments, I put the BLC spot at the beginning of the segment this week, so I'm not just copying my previous segments.
And now, Pigs in Space!
Alrighty, the Pigs in Space segment. Huh, I didn't know Jeff Kaufman was in this part. Who's that next to him?
Like, oh, well, my name's Scott. Just a boring old white name.
No!
It's actually quite exciting that Scott got promoted to being a pig. Last I heard, he was just a naked mole rat, but then again, he has gained a little bit more weight since then. Oh boy, the Swedish Chef is up next. Hold on, is that Lewis? Oh my gosh, it's Lewis trying to pronounce words. He's just putting adobo into everything, though. I wonder where Sarah's at. She usually helps to get him out of one of these crazes. Alright, looks like we've got Muppet Labs up next. We've got Dr. Honeydew and Beaker up on stage. Oh wait, that's not Beaker, that's Mary. Apparently Mary lied on her resume and now has a job at Muppet Labs. I don't know why they would put her in charge of these things, seeing as how she accidentally killed all those crap Muppets in the beginning, and she ended up trying to talk to that statue over there. Oh, lovely, she's just blown something up on stage. And now she's yelling that she's a tutor and is definitely the right person for this job. Well, I guess that's what happens when you make Mary president. Oh, look who's filling in for Statler and Waldorf up in the box over there.
Clipping your coupons and collecting your Social Security and your pension.
Oh,
Just
God.
stay home. Don't even come out to the public, because if somebody sees you, they will kill you.
That's a classic. I also would like to thank the Studio 21 Baseball podcast for giving a shout out to my podcast on their most recent episode. You know, it's nice that a podcast that I'm not even on is able to help me get my name out there. Unlike some podcasts that I happen to have a role on every single week. Looks like the Muppet Band, the Electric Mayhem, is about to start playing a song.
Infinitive move stable to the front, then conjugate the infinitive. For example, could be rested. The king say to agree with the subject in the same.
I didn't even know that they knew that song. Then again, I feel like the Oompa Loompas are very iconic characters.
Still, the allegations were enough for MLB to mobilize its Department of Investigations to look into these claims.
Here's the Muppet News Flash.
All right, there's a Muppet News Flash. Oh no, it looks like Nick is interrupting them. Okay, now Nick is trying to tell them that the segment's off. No, Nick, that banana's a Muppet. Don't use that banana. Hold on a sec, guys.
Social media doesn't lie. It never lies.
Oh, hold on. Looks like Sam Eagle is getting up.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
He's pointing into the audience. Oh my gosh, it looks like Abraham Lincoln's here at the theater. This is incredible. Wait a minute, why do I smell weed? Oh my god, it's Sarah! She's killed another president! Sarah would go on to kill many more presidents. President Jimmy Carter died not long after. Scientists later found out that she was responsible for turning the bullet that went into John F. Kennedy, and perhaps it was even Sarah who gave a cold to William Henry Harrison. Friends and family said they should have known what was happening, but alas, they did not. Why is broccoli so bad?
Wow. Things got dark there at the end.
I forgot to cut the audio. You can stop it. I completely forgot to cut the audio. I didn't listen to this before I put it in.
We're just gonna leave it running.
Yeah. I like it. I feel like you set the tone. First of all, broccoli's delicious. Okay.
I love broccoli, especially with cheese on it.
So bad.
So good.
It's bad.
You don't even eat food. You're not allowed to say it.
Sophisticated gentlemen, you have no room to talk about food. You can talk about air. You can talk about diet air. You could talk about.
I'm not sure he even uses air.
He's a carbon-based life form.
Okay. For context here, here's your learning opportunity of the week. To join our Patreon so you can watch us as we record live and the banter beforehand and afterhand. Before we started recording, there was a conversation where a sophisticated gentleman indicated that he doesn't eat. He doesn't have time. He could fill his day with other things like studying and work and doing all sorts of chemistry stuff. So the jokes about him eating air and has no room to talk is all because he does not eat. We do reference this a couple other times in the episode, but you don't want to miss these inside jokes. So join our Patreon for as low as $2 a month so you can watch us record these things live, see the things that happen before and after we start recording.
I swear he's a robot. His biggest challenge was it last week. He couldn't figure out which part of a picture had a bicycle in it to prove that he's not a robot.
Was it one of the corner pictures though, where it's kind of in the other picture though? It can be hard. I understand.
All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Psst. Hey, you. You want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon-exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to nonewfriendspodcast.com and hit Join Our Clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
This is Larry Hankin, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. Now, before we get into Mary's bad day last week, which led to her missing yet another episode.
That is not what happened.
Well, that's the day that you had a bad day.
Okay, it's not what happened.
But you did have a bad day that day.
I had a terrible day.
And then you missed the podcast episode. I was just stating facts. I didn't say they connected. I just was stating facts. You had a bad day?
I'm a victim of circumstance.
Okay. All right. So before we get to whatever circumstance she's a victim of, let's hear from Lord Remy for Word of the Day.
Hey guys, Remy here. So Your Holiness is back for another Word of the Day, or should I say the word of the episode. So the word of today is lackluster. It is an adjective. And the meaning is not exciting or energetic. What the heck? I mean, this word says that, is this word like calling me out? Is this word saying that I'm not exciting or I'm not energetic? You know what? I am calling bull crap on this word because I am exciting. I am energetic. I'm an energetic person. But there's no way in heck that I am a lackluster person, all right?
Say hell, Remy.
Now, how can I use this word in a sentence? Well, here it is. The movie received mixed reviews due to its lackluster plot, uninspiring performances by the cast. So there you guys have it. The word of today is lackluster.
All right, so lackluster.
Man, he took that personally.
He did take that personally. Like
just a word,
Webster's
it's
is
not
out to
coming
get
at
him.
you.
Oh, he felt attacked.
What'd you say, Ryan?
It's just a word. It's not out to get you.
I know. Yeah.
Hey, if you guys want a good transition here, Mary, didn't you have a lackluster day? You can use that, Scott.
Oh, Mary. So back to your lackluster day.
It was anything. It lacked a lot. Not just luster.
Well, the podcast lacked you.
Okay, look. What happened was, picture it like Mary, 2023. The day before. Okay, first of all, you messed up my entire week because we changed recording days, okay?
I did not mess up your entire week.
You messed up
Chris
my
messed
entire
up your entire week.
Well, and he's
Chris
not
messed
even
up
here.
everybody's week.
Okay, listen. So
I was
know
supposed to get
I'm-
the Indiana Jones bit last week and couldn't because Ryan didn't have a sophisticated gentleman did not have enough time to record that.
Okay, well,
but it allowed me to hop on now, and now told everybody. Nick
I know.
is not
I'm waiting till Chris is here.
Oh, yeah.
Screw Chris. He's on vacation.
Okay, screw Chris is on vacation. Nick is a new permanent member. All right, Mary, back to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. Speaking of lackluster, that was the most lackluster announcement I've ever heard.
The move on gay thing now, Nick.
Lackluster announcement.
Move on gay. I'm here to stay.
Wow, I like that.
Now I need a new jingle.
There you go.
Yes.
No, Nick is joining us now full time for both Wednesday and After Dark because everybody loves him, and I have to have him on both shows. I have to have him both ways.
He loves me both ways.
That's you're not the first. Anywho, so you messed up my week anyways, which actually it wouldn't have mattered. Let's be honest, it wouldn't have. Hot girls have stomach problems, okay? That's just how it is. Hot girls have tummy issues. I have gastroparesis. I have celiac disease.
Sarah, do you have tummy issues?
Now I'm starting to question if there's a coincidence. So thank you, Mary.
Yeah, hot girls have tummy issues, okay? I ended up getting whatever.
Nick, tummy issues?
Professional.
Professionals. Anyways, I was vomiting and there was also blood involved. It was really rough. I was very sick. But
what'd you do Monday night?
Okay, we don't need. I was going to tell you about that, but that's the two things are not related. Probably, maybe.
Real quick, Ryan, what was the number one advice that Mary's doctor gave?
That was not the number one advice.
He said to stop drinking.
That was Mary, not the number one advice. The number one advice was to eat a low residue diet, okay, and to make sure I'm getting enough nutrients and to stop being a skeleton. And I did all of those things.
So you can only take one piece of advice at a time?
Yeah.
He chooses one. It's like Lent.
Thank you. Thanks. You know what? At least
not an either or.
I'm really happy that our new lackluster sidekick / co-host is here because
did you just call Nick lackluster?
Am I the lackluster one?
You called him that. I'm happy he's here.
No, I did not call him that.
Yes, you did. You gave him a lackluster welcoming.
I did give him a lackluster.
It was very.
That's pretty crappy, really.
Bad. Okay, listen. So Monday, I had an exam at school.
Of course you did. I've never heard of people having this many exams. It's every single day.
There's
I'm
so
starting to
many.
think these aren't real. I'm starting
There's
to think
so many.
this is a Shutter Island situation and you actually don't go to school.
It feels like it.
Tell everybody.
Sometimes
you're
wonder,
tutoring people, but then Mark Ruffalo's there and he's actually really your doctor.
Listen, sometimes you joke, but after getting deep diving into psych for this term, sometimes I'm like, what if I really am so heavily in delusion? I'm so schizophrenic that I don't know what my reality is. I'm actually just talking to a houseplant right now and pretending like it's a microphone because that could very well be what's happening. Sometimes I think that. Anyways, I digress. So
I'm right. Sometimes we think that too.
Oh, okay. You know what? So this particular exam, there's certain cornerstone parts of this program that you have to take a specific standardized exam and you have to get a certain percentage to pass it and be able to move on. It has nothing to do with your actual grade in the class. It is just a are you actually going to be a safe practitioner? And if you can't pass it, then you can't pass go. You can't collect $200. Just kidding. You can't pay them $200. So you get 2 chances to take it. Your girl, I'm a real baddie. I got level 3, which is total mastery of it. First try. Love that. But I still had to do it again just for shits and gigs. Sorry, I know I'm not supposed to say that word. But all of my little friends, we all passed. Very exciting. It was also one of my friends.
The 3 of you?
Yeah, my 3 friends.
Okay.
That I have. I'm one of them. I actually only have 2 friends. So
you told 2 friends.
Total.
Yeah, because your entire cohort got slashed because you needed better grades than them.
What were you saying about schizophrenia?
Oh my God.
Yes, her friends are just the voices in her head. Not really people.
You laugh, but man, it could be any of us. Anyways, so it was also my beautiful, wonderful friend Jen's birthday. So we wanted to celebrate her. We got her balloons and wonderful gifts. And so we were like, okay, we're going to go out to lunch after the test. But we also had a lecture that we had to join in on a Teams for. So we decided to go to a really, really high-end place for lunch. We wanted to treat her right. So we went to Friendly Confines, $5 doubles.
Right. Real classy place.
Yeah, really classy. And actually, we weren't planning on things going wild. We were just going to have some snacks, listen to the lecture, maybe have a drink, call it a night.
Now, guys, what's interesting is what's gone viral is Mary alone at a Friendly Confines with a bunch of balloons singing happy birthday to someone else at the table. There's nobody there. I've seen the video, guys. There's nobody there.
They're the worst.
You bring the stuffed animals. And
she's having a little tea party, but it's with booze instead, with White Claws and fentanyl.
You're you're not going to drink that? I'll take it.
She's like, I'll take it. She's dipping the fentanyl into the White Claw.
Either that or she's best friends with John Cena.
God. What's the name that Buzz Lightyear is whenever he's doing the tea party?
Miss Nesbit.
That's Mary. Mary.
Me.
Why do you know that?
Yeah, that was.
Why
really
do I know
quick.
that? Because I'm a Disney expert.
Yeah, it's true.
Sophisticated Gentlemen's a No New Friends podcast expert. I'm going to have to give Game Master Ryan the leg up on that one.
Yeah, that's great. So Ms. Nesbit, we were celebrating. Okay, so we ordered food. I didn't eat breakfast. I know that comes as a surprise. Sophisticated Gentlemen, you feel me on that one. We get a little busy sometimes. And so I had a double and ate some snacks. And we get on this Teams call and we're talking about mental health stuff. Definitely don't really remember a lot of that call. I was too busy.
Because the call didn't actually happen. You were using a menu as a cell phone.
That's why I'm like, so you're doing a Teams call at this restaurant?
Friendly Confines, yes.
Yeah, we did it. We did it there. Yeah.
So, in my mind, I felt like she was standing up giving a monologue or something.
No, we're just on this Teams call listening.
She was actually in the mental wards cafeteria.
Listen, so one double led to 2, okay, which led to 3.
2 is too many, 14 is not enough.
Thank you, because once I had 2, I get very friendly. I am an extroverted introvert. I'm an introverted extrovert. I don't know. After 2 cocktails, my powers are unlocked. I become a different person. I talk to anybody. There's a table next to us, and they bought us a round of drinks because apparently they loved me. So now we are best friends. They bought us around. So that was a lot of drinks. So what do? Immediately call my husband and say, Mike Reedy, dump those kids that you're at home with right now and meet us at the classiest bar in Lake Mary, the Thirsty Whale. Let's go. And I'll be damned if he didn't do exactly that. He did just that. He fed the children. He tucked them into bed, kissed them on their heads, and met his ratchet wife out at the Thirsty Whale with her wild friends. I was playing 3-6 Mafia on their iTunes. I was crushing it. I was living my best life. The best part of the story is I was tucked in to my bed by 9:45. Okay. That's where I was.
Yes.
But in between all of that, I did a green tea shot. Mama don't do shots. I don't know, but that night I did. Okay. Things got wild. I invited my two friends back to my house. So they were at my house with the older kids were still awake.
Lucky Mike Reedy. Go Mike.
Oh yeah, he was like just corralling. Not lucky Mike Reedy. I actually bless Mike Reedy. Somehow I ended up with 12 crumble cookies delivered via DoorDash because my daughters asked for them. So why not make dreams come true, right? I don't know. It was a night, to say the very least. The next morning, Mike Reedy woke me up very gently and was like, "Good morning." And I don't even know what I was wearing. I don't know how I got tucked into. I don't remember going to bed. I Irish goodbye. I didn't say good night, goodbye, anything. Apparently everyone was like, "Where'd Mary go?" And they peeked in my room and I was snoozed out in my bed. But my doorbell camera has my friends leaving and twerking into the camera. So they had a great time. Everyone had a wonderful time. The best part, though, is that in the morning when Mike Reedy woke me up, I was like, oh my God, I am dying. I can't do that. I'm way too old for this. Why did I think that was a good idea?
And your doctor said not to.
Well, that too. And I was like, literally, my skin hurts. My skin hurts. This isn't good. And I laid on my kitchen floor and I was like, I'm dying right now. I'm just going to, when you come home from work, I'm going to be in the same spot. And he looked me dead in my eyes and he was like, that's weird because don't you have to go take care of psych patients today? I completely forgot I had to be at the hospital. Completely forgot. I didn't know what day of the week it was. I had no idea. I went to the moon. I don't even know what happened. And I was like, oh God. There wasn't enough carbs. There was no way of bringing me back. And I posted the video of me. I don't know if Scott, if you've posted it anywhere, of me leaving from my doorbell camera, trying to get out of the house. But you can like see me like taking like physical inventory to see if I have like my hospital badge. Do I have my phone?
Yeah, you were doing the 5-pocket inspection.
Yeah, and I was like, well, and you can even see me be like, I guess that's it. And then I trip over my own 2 feet and drop my dang Stanley Cup and everything just goes everywhere. And like for a minute, I just questioned like whether I wanted to continue to exist. It was so bad. I made it through the day though. For the unit was relatively calm. I made it.
That's
home.
because they finally got you back to your room.
Oh my gosh, I only had a little bit of Halidol right in the
You're running all over the place talking about your night at Friendly Confines. There actually is no such thing as Friendly Confines, Mary. It doesn't exist.
Okay, I bet you have a podcast, honey. Yeah, you're very famous. You are very famous.
Just so you know, Mary, the 5 of us are actually the 5 emotions from Inside Out right now.
Oh God. Anyways, so I tried to eat food. The food ate me is actually what happened. I vomited bad. I was so
I didn't
sick.
know Mike Reedy's new name was The Food.
Oh my gosh. Look, I love the food. You know what I'm saying? It's spicy as hell. Look, but seriously, in all actuality, I was dying, but I lived to see another day. I'm really sorry I wasn't here, but I really am down with the sickness now. My kids go back to school for 5 seconds and they are just a petri dish of germs and they bring it back to me and I don't understand and I don't love it. But anyways, thanks for having me back on my imaginary friend show.
All right, you're listening to the Neuter Friends podcast. When we come back, Nick's going to start his daughter just started school, so we're going to get weekly updates from Nick in his segment Move I'm Gay, talking about his daughter's school adventures. I can't wait. And we've got Jersey Man, Florida Man, and so much more. You're listening to the Neuter Friends podcast.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF as in No New Friends and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hey, this is Mike and Tom, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Goodbye. Hey, this is Mike and new friend. No. You say and Tom. You want no new friend. No, you say and Tom. And Tom. Hey, all right, go. Take 40. Hey, this is Mike and Tom, and we're with the Gina McReynolds Foundation, and thank you for listening to the God. I'm serious. Hey, this is Mike and Tom. And we're with the Gina McReynolds Foundation, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. And Tom.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. Just want to say thank you again to everybody who voted for us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition. We came in third place, which is fantastic. The goal was always top 3, and here we are, top 3. So thank you so much. Next year, we aim for number 2. And just appreciate everybody. Also, don't forget to check.
Can we put that on a shirt?
Aim for number 2.
Aim for number 2. Yes.
I gotta say, Scott, since you're just repeating the same thing you already said, I thought you were just going to start campaigning for next year already.
Why not? Why not?
Vote for us now.
Never. Well, you can't vote yet, but it's never too early.
It actually is too early.
We can get the billboards. We'll get like yard signs. I got a whole marketing plan behind it.
That's a good idea. We should start a smear campaign, actually.
A smear campaign, you say?
He's like, I'm on it.
He's like, take dinner off of the schedule. I have something else to fill my evening.
Clear my schedule.
Yes.
Don't forget to check out After Dark this Wednesday. We've got Dave Shelton on our interview with Dave Shelton, and that was a super fun interview. He worked for National Lampoons, was a writer on Everybody Loves Raymond, a number of different things. He was fantastic, super funny. So that'll be on After Dark this week. Are you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Always.
Absolutely.
Yes, I am ready.
I always get it wrong, so I'm nervous.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Jersey, one is from Florida. It is up to us to decide which one is which. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom located this week on my couch. I learned a long time ago you should never work harder than you're compensated. So for what I get paid to do this, I'm just going to sit here and watch TV. Let's see what's on. Well, it looks like Scott is celebrating their top 3 finish in Orlando Weekly like he normally does by climbing the Eiffel Tower and swinging at planes that come too close to him. Oh, this ad again? I swear Ryan runs this ad every 15 minutes. Scott, you must have really upset him. Oh, it's my 600-pound life. I love this show.
All right. So, Chris, you're at 620. So, right now,
Wait a
you're
minute.
not working.
Is that Chris Yob?
You're eating too much.
I guess the Alaskan cruise was really just a cover. Well, there's Scott again. Looks like he's running ad space trying to sell healthy juices, healthy coffee, and vitamins. It's got to be a scam. Who the hell looks at Scott and says, that's the guy I want to buy healthy items from? That's like buying athletic gear from Chris.
Now, join the manhunt with John Walsh.
Oh, here's America's Most Wanted.
Oh,
Man,
God.
that guy looks familiar.
I'm kind of an evil person.
Oh my God, is that Nick? He seems so nice. Ah, Little People, Big World. Oh God, there's Chris again. Here's a good show, Extreme Cheapskates. There's always some kind of crazy penny pincher on here.
Sarah never compromises on her thrifty ways.
Wait a minute. Sarah? You're Jewish is showing. This is getting out of hand. Before this gets any crazier and I see Scott on Animal Planet, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. So for our first story, a state trooper is hit with a flashlight and his canine is stabbed by a knife-wielding man.
Oh, no.
And in our second story, a man dressed in a cat costume accused of stabbing his roommate in the neck.
Okay. Sophisticated gentlemen, what do you think? We've got the cat knifing and the police
Flashlighting.
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 Well, I'd have to say that I'm going to go with the cat is Jersey. I don't know. Florida's kind of a fun place, and I don't like dogs, so I'm going to go with the dog ones in Florida.
Okay. Nick, what are your thoughts?
I definitely feel like cat's Jersey because I feel like there's a lot of alligators in Florida, so I feel like they eat all the cats. I don't see how that
What
would
do you
work out
guys
there.
think happens in Florida? There's alligators everywhere. Like we're infested.
There really are.
We have a lot of lizards. Those
They used to get into the water ride at Disney.
I mean,
they are everywhere.
okay. Mary.
So I would have to say I'm gonna have to go opposite. I really think that the cat one is Florida. That seems more accurate because there's no way that the dog one happened in Florida because Florida cops and like Grady Judd and all of that and Ron DeSantis, they'll pull a gun in 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no way they're getting hit by a flashlight. They would have already fired 5 rounds into that fool. So I would say the first one is Jersey, the cat one is Florida. Final answer.
All right. Sarah.
How do I follow that up? Honestly, I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna go with cat being Jersey. And the trooper. I hear a lot of stories about troopers around here, so I'm just gonna assume that's one of them. Maybe.
You just said such a Florida thing. Round here, I hear a lot of things like that around here.
Around here.
All right. I'm going to have to agree with Mary. I think that the cat story is Florida and the flashlighting is Jersey. All right, let's find out the answers.
And if you haven't noticed, the nexus of these two stories is that they're both stabbings. So our first story is from New Jersey, where a New Jersey state trooper and his canine were injured while attempting to arrest a knife-wielding man following a pursuit. As they tried to gain control of the suspect, he stabbed the dog with a knife. The state troopers removed the canine from the vehicle. The suspect exited the vehicle and hit a state trooper in the head with a flashlight. Who the hell still carries a full-size flashlight? I mean, you have one on your phone. Speaking of which, anybody ever notice that Sarah's complexion is the same as an iPhone flashlight? So that means our second story is from Florida, where a 32-year-old man is behind bars on a $1 million bond after authorities say he stabbed his roommate in the neck while dressed as a cat. No word on the argument that led to the stabbing, but I'm guessing it had something to do with a bathroom photo shoot. And in other news, a rare spotless giraffe was born in a Tennessee zoo. A female reticulated giraffe was born at the Brights Zoo in northwest Tennessee, but unlike her mother, she was born without any spots. She was all one solid color. Scott's wife said she hasn't seen anything that solid in years. Oh, that's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Oh, and thank you for using Remy's word of the episode from last Nexus. Very nice job.
I like the continuity with that.
Yeah. And
I could probably think of a lackluster one pretty easily.
And if you'd like to submit a word for Remy to use for word of the week, just email us nonewfriendspodcast.com. I'm sorry, nonewfriendspodcast@yahoo.com. Put in the subject word of the day.
They're going to be like schizophrenia.
There's nothing that offends Remy, apparently.
No. And speaking of continuity, don't forget to check out the Sophisticated Gentleman's podcast, Cases of Continuity, which I'll have him tell you all about in a little bit. So, Nick.
Hi.
Oh,
am I allowed to talk now?
You've been allowed to talk the whole time.
Oh, well, I just thought I'm only allowed to talk every now and then, but you know what? It's time for me to talk a little bit more. So move, I'm gay.
Nick's on the mic, so it's time to take notice. And if you don't like it, that's homophobic. Stay the hell out of his way. Move, I'm gay.
What? Is that your first time hearing that, Mary?
That's the
best. Clearly, she has not been listening to my episodes.
She's homophobic.
Yeah, she is homophobic.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, if you don't listen to After Dark, you are homophobic. Just putting that out there right now.
I don't listen to anything. I don't listen to anything.
Wait, so you're deaf and schizophrenic?
Because the nurses won't let her have any devices.
It's a
the modern Helen Keller.
It's a somatic reaction, actually.
So we've talked about it on After Dark a little bit, and I'm kind of digging deeper into the LGBTQ community. And I am just like everybody else. I have a child, and my child just started kindergarten on last Thursday. It was very nerve-wracking that very first day. Sean and I were both home for it. We were super excited that morning. She was really excited. We got her on the bus for the very first time. And it was, at first I was excited. And then once she pulled away, like, we started bawling.
Oh,
it was sad.
I have a question.
My sixth grader got on a bus and I started bawling.
Yeah. I loved it. I was excited that she was comfortable with it and everything. I wasn't comfortable with it because I'm like, this, like, we talked about it, I think, even on After Dark with Chris and his job that he makes up. But our school buses don't have seatbelts. Apparently, that's a thing in New Jersey.
They don't have them in Florida either.
Yeah.
No, yes, they do. They have
they
have seatbelts in Florida and air conditioning now.
Mary, that's the hospital bus. Okay, the school bus does not have seatbelts.
Listen, okay, no, but I do have a
air
question.
Conditioning.
Nick, did you ride the bus as a kid?
I did. Yes.
So do you remember the things that happened on the bus? Like the kids in the back, like snorting pixie sticks and stuff? That's the crap that scares me.
That was me in high school marching band, but
Mary, the kids are doing a lot worse in the back of the bus now.
They got
they're giving each other hand jobs and stuff. It's
oh my god,
that doesn't sound worse. What do you mean? Talking about? That's what scares me is that I remembered what school was like. So was that like a part of your fears? Like, did you and Sean like swap like horror stories from school? And you're like, oh my god, I hope she doesn't go through that.
We didn't, and I mean, I feel like it's going to be different next year because this year it's only in all kindergarten bus because the kindergarten's in a completely separate building.
Oh,
so she's
nice.
Not getting on the bus with fifth graders.
Yeah, nobody's huffing glue yet.
Yeah. So they teach that in first grade.
Yeah,
so.
That's next year.
So yeah, that wasn't really my worries or anything. I think just like the fact, like I said, she's always been in a car seat. She's not been in just the seatbelt, and there's not even seatbelts there. Plus, there's no like trial run to get her used to like. I mean, they don't have her cross the street, but you know how you have to stop and wait for the bus driver to like allow you to cross and all that. So all those things go through my mind, and I'm like, luckily she gets picked up right in front of the house, and on the driver's side and everything. So we saw her walk up. She was super excited. I was mad because she didn't look back at us and cry or anything. And the windows are tinted, so I couldn't even see in to see if she was like waving. So I'm just like fake waving.
They're just waving. They're just waving to wave.
Yeah.
You're like,
I mean,
goodbye, sweetheart.
Nick,
Meanwhile,
Nick
she's
was
like,
waving at the bus like Mary waves at absolutely nothing.
I hate you all.
kind of the same situation.
Look, I'm trying to be supportive and understanding of Nick's situation. I've been through it like 15 times. Kids are so resilient. It's wild how adaptable they are. What you're going to love is when they do like open house and you get to see all of the things that they've accomplished. And usually it's only a couple of weeks into the school year. And you're like, wow, look at you just settling in like you own the place. It's amazing.
And that's the thing is I feel like she's going to own the place with her personality. So, but
she's like, move over. My dads are gay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and we had an open house the day before school so that we had the opportunity to go meet the teachers. But what sucks is there was 2 different time frames to go. One was in the afternoon, and that didn't work in our schedules because Shauna had to work. And so we went to the evening one. And at the evening one, they didn't guarantee the teachers would be there because of their contracts.
Oh, it sounds like
required to be there.
Yeah.
So, of course, my worst fear came true, and we didn't even get to meet the teacher. He left a note on the door, which was kind of his handwriting was not great. So we were judging that already.
You're like, clearly he's straight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, and all we knew was his last name, but we didn't even know his first name, so we're like trying to Facebook stalk him.
I was about to say we can find out way more. I can tell you where he's at right now.
I was trying to like Facebook stalk. I'm like, I'm leaving my child in the hands of some person that I don't know.
Let's run a credit check on him. Yeah. I feel like we need to know more about him.
You guys need to hire an investigator right now because I still don't.
I think that's one of Chris's fake jobs. I think he does that too.
He just doesn't use the Google very well.
No, I think he's a PI. Or no, pie. He likes pie.
That's what it is.
That's the way game.
Nick, what's really cool is as you see things progress throughout the year, especially when like you see like her writing words and all that and reading something that Ryan's family never got to experience at the open houses in North Carolina, you know.
Not fair.
I'll just take a moment of silence.
I mean, we were bummed that we didn't get to meet the teacher. We went with her.
Were bombed? Oh, yeah. Sarah's.
Oh, God. Don't say that in your school.
Bummed, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, don't say that.
Jesus Christ.
We're going to cancel already.
It's Remy Christ, okay?
Sorry. Nick, do you pack her lunch or does she?
We pack lunch. She's a picky eater, so I don't think she would buy anything from there.
You have the little bento box thing?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Me too. My kids don't use it though. I pack the lunch and Grayson just like squishes it and then buys lunch. It's great. I really love it.
I didn't load money onto her account, so I'm like,
you'll get a bill. They'll let her buy stuff on credit. Yeah. They'll
especially if it's the meal. If it's the meal, they'll let you.
My kid packs lunch and gets lunch at school, and then tells me about it when I pick her up. I'm like, "Oh, how was your lunch?" She's like, "Oh, well, which one?"
Yeah.
Like, are you serious?
And you're like, "You're clearly not Jewish." Like,
she only gets one snack time, and she's just flabbergasted.
Can't believe it. My kid, I get more mad when they buy breakfast too. Like sometimes they'll get there early enough and they're like, you know what? Let me just buy breakfast while I'm here. Like it's a damn cafe. Like they just want to
charge them corgi coins, Mary. If they use real money, charge them the corgi coins.
The market's crashed, Scott. We've already talked about it.
Shocker that there was no follow through on that.
You know what? I hate you.
See, it surprises me that y'all's kids are buying food at school. Because when I was a kid, I remember the school lunches just being some of the worst things I'd ever tasted. Like somebody found a bone in the fish stick. Like the pizza was the worst pizza you'd ever have. It was like cardboard. So I'm surprised that
you don't
people
even
are choosing to eat that.
Is that why you don't eat now?
Scarred for life. The school food.
My kid's school comes out with a menu for breakfast and lunch, and they know what they're going to have.
Heck yeah. Wednesday's pizza day, Monday's chicken nugget day.
Yep.
I should probably look into that because Piper is basically like a Lunchable person. Like that's the only food she would eat. So
you know what? I respect that though. 'Cause she's gonna love a good charcuterie when.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is we're gay, so we always have charcuterie around the house. It's like Trader Joe's shit.
I love it. I love
it. She's used to that. So
please tell me that you pack her like stemware and a San Pellegrino with a slice of lime. Like, it has to be. I'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
It's okay if it's stemless since it's school. You know, it's fine. It'll be a weapon.
We'll step it up next week. But yeah, I mean, even at the open house, we went with our best friends, a gay couple. They literally live 6 houses away. It's Piper's best friend. We're kind of bummed that they weren't in the same class because they've been together since he was born and she's 4 months older at daycare and preschool. And but it was probably nice for them to separate so that they can have their own friends. And because they basically bully each other too, they fight like brother and sister. So, but we were walking through open house even too, and I saw another gay dad couple in there, and like we just made eye contact, and then we didn't say anything. But I looked at Sean. I was like, "Sean, gay couple," and he's like, "We're more attractive than them."
Oh, I love it. You just judge them. I love it.
We don't judge the kid. We judge the dad.
Oh, you got to judge the kid a little bit. Like, did you just a little bit? Like, our kid's cuter. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we rate the kids. Like, I'm like, on a scale of 1 to Grayson, the kid's like a 6. Like, you know, like we like rate them that way.
I know I should teach Piper to look out for the kid and just be like, you know what? I have the coolest gay dads here. So.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, school went good. The first day, the bus coming home from school was like 25 minutes late. And there's an app that you download now, which technology is so amazing for kids, but there's an app for the bus, but the app looks like it was designed by a kindergartner.
They actually, yes, they do have a coding class that probably is who did that. Yeah, it's
kindergarten.
Mary also has a coding class at her school, but it's just an Etch-a-Sketch.
Wait, is it a coding class or a coding class?
I'm actually allergic to codeine, you dick. Thanks a lot.
Whoa, what did you just call me?
What?
Did you just call me a Richard?
Yes.
So the issue was we looked in the app and her school bus was still showing at the school. And this was like 25 minutes after she was supposed to be home. So we were very confused and we were texting our best friends that live down the street. We're like, have you seen anything? We didn't know if he was getting dropped off first. And all of a sudden a bus pulls around the corner and it's a different bus number dropping her off. Not the same bus number, not the same bus driver. So like, okay, whatever. She's home. It's fine. We expected things to run a little bit late. So the next day, she didn't have school on Friday. They split up the kindergartners by like the first half of the alphabet went on Thursday. The second half went on Friday to kind of like introduce them slowly. So the next day is when a couple other neighbors that we know had kids going as well too. And they rode the bus and everything. And on the way home, we get an alert from the bus app that the bus has hit a parked car.
Oh.
So
Mary, I didn't know that you moved to Ohio to drive buses.
So there's a notification. It says the bus hit a parked car. All the kids are completely fine. It was very, very minor. The bus driver just has to wait on the police to come to file a police report. An hour later, our neighbor's kid got home. An hour after they were supposed to be home.
Is it the same bus driver?
I don't know that day since Piper didn't go which bus driver it was.
Man.
So yeah, I don't know whose first day it was, but it might have been their last one.
First and last day. Listen, though, could you imagine having to have just a bus full of wild kids?
Right.
Like, I would be like the bus driver from Billy Madison. Like, I feel like that would be me. Like 100%.
So back up, I know we mentioned like cell phones earlier for kids, and she's not old enough for a cell phone, so after the first day when the bus is like 25 minutes late and the app wasn't working, we're like, we need to figure out something quick. So we went online and bought Apple AirTags.
Yeah, get her an AirTag. That's so smart.
Placed the AirTag in her book bag.
Yeah, we actually chipped
Mary's
her.
nurses are doing that to her as well.
Actually chipped her.
It's basically like the COVID vaccine, right? So
yeah, we just they just put it right under the shoulder blade. You know,
that flashing light that they put in there, it just makes it really annoying.
It makes it fun. They told me it was fun. I don't know.
So Monday rolls around and we're like looking up the AirTag and stuff because the bus app wasn't working again. Everything was fine on the way to school. We have a different driver coming home from school apparently, but they got the same bus number back. So we're texting with our best friends and we're like, have you seen anything with your son? Because the Apple tags weren't updating. On top of it, we got a message from the bus app saying that for some reason they're splitting our bus between 4 other buses. So your kid might be about 10 minutes late. So we're like, what the heck is going on?
Your kid may be 10 minutes late or 2 to 4 business days. We're not sure. It's one.
So we're like waiting outside.
Sounds like Mary to a recording. She could be 1 minute late. She may not be here at all. You never know.
An hour after she was supposed to be home, she made it home safely.
Nice.
So it was rough with that portion of things. School has been amazing. I love hearing her little stories of her friends she's made. And you can follow me on my Facebook if you haven't and see those stories I've been posting her comments, which are very entertaining for hearing a kindergartner's day and their favorite things. It's like today, she's like, I did the zip line today. It was my favorite thing. I'm like, oh, you have a zip line at school? We were tormented in school.
Ryan's like, we were lucky if we had pencils. It was wild.
Thank you, Nick. I look forward to more updates as the year progresses.
Yeah, luckily I have some older children in here to learn from you guys' experience.
Yes. Ryan, do you have any Cliff Notes?
I got a couple.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff Notes way.
So Mary's kids got cell phones by the time they were 8 years old. By the time Mary was 8 years old, she had already had her first White Claw and DUI.
I have never had a DUI, sir. I've had many
Never
White
convicted.
Claws.
Never convicted.
Never been convicted.
Scott is trying to get Zoe on the podcast. Scott, you know you're not allowed in Zoom calls with minors anymore. In Sophisticated Gentleman segment, Sarah killed Abraham Lincoln faster than Chris killed that one segment about Christmas drug abuse.
That was the worst.
That was so bad.
Mary says she only has 2 friends. That's still 2 more than Scott. You should rename the podcast to No Friends. Mary got drunk and woke up with 12 crumble cookies. That really sounds more like a Chris thing, but they would just be the wrappers from the cookies, not the actual cookies. Mary got lucky when she showed up to the psych unit when she was hungover. She said the unit was calm. Scott's unit's been calm for months now. Nick said he was in band in high school. I think he played the skin flute. Scott said me and my family never learned to read. Well, I've read a lot of things. That's why they call me Red State Ryan. Sarah is known as altered state Sarah because of the time she spends in an altered state of mind. And lastly, Nick's kid's school bus hit a parked car. Scott automatically assumed that the driver must have been Asian or a woman. And that's all I got.
Bravo. Chris, enjoy Alaska. You don't need to come back.
Stay on board. Book another cruise for Sandpiper Vacation. Nothing to do, Friends podcast at you.
Oh, those were those broke me, Ryan. Nice job.
I've always tried to break people.
Yes.
I love a good skin flute.
Yeah.
this is Alex from Diz His, along with
Chris from the No New. Wait, what is this an ad for?
This is an ad for Diz His on No New Friends.
Oh my gosh, I'm so out of place. So yeah, we're on a Disney podcast, right, Alex?
Yeah, you and me now. We're doing a Disney podcast, Disney History, every week. On Tuesdays, it drops. Social media is Diz His Pod.
Yeah, if you ever need cleansing of the obscurities that you hear on this show, check us out on Diz His Podcast, where we do something way more innocent.
And if you love Alex's segment, which is me, my history segment, then you'll love our full episode of Disney History.
Yeah, if you want a big load of Alex, listen to the Diz His Podcast. You're going to love it. A little bit of me, a lot of Alex. It's like half and half, but a lot of Alex. A lot of Alex.
Whoa. There's a lot of you too. You also give up a big load yourself.
That's fair.
Hey, Scott. Yeah? What do you got coming up on Diz His this week? Well, listen, before I talk about what I talked about on Diz His this week, I would just...
He really doesn't have any friends. He's talking to himself.
I feel like
Mary inspired me.
Let me ask you a few questions. What are the voices telling you? They're not telling you to hurt yourself, are they?
Well, wait till I tell you what we talked about, because then you guys are going to think I'm real nuts. So, Nick, what's coming up? What's going on with Sandpiper Vacations? I don't have anything witty about putting things in holes or Jim Cummings or drippage or whatever.
Scott, you just mentioned that you're going nuts. That's the perfect segue to Nick.
Speaking of nuts and cleanly shaven nuts.
Speaking of nuts, let's talk about Chip and Dale. They're at Disney World right now. Disneyland just released their 2024 packages. So now you can book your package and I will handle your package. So go to sandpipervacations.com to book your Disneyland trip. And maybe if you're out there next year, you can see Ryan, who is going to be celebrating his 40th birthday in Disneyland. As he booked through Sandpiper Vacations. And he mentioned that he contacted the No New Friends podcast and
nice
got the extra hookup.
Make sure your package is cleanly shaven when you book it.
Yes, and if you want cleanly shaven nuts, visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off your purchase. Get that lawnmower 4.0. All right, so on Diz His this week, we did the history of Push the talking trash can. That's right, we did the history of a talking trash can. Now, what was really cool about it is a friend of mine back from the Universal days actually worked as the operator, the voice and the controller of Push the Trash Can. So we had him on as well. So there's a lot of really cool, fun stories about Push the Trash Can. So make sure you check out Diz His on all social media and all podcast platforms. That's Diz His Pod on all social media.
See, Scott, I was going to ask you why they had you on an episode for a talking trash can.
Well,
just kidding. That was a little bit mean. Got that.
So what's funny is I always give them a hard time. I'm like, you've already done all the good attractions and all the good movies and all that. You're scraping bottom. You're going to be doing like the history of the Main Street trash can. So when Alex asked me to come on this week, I said, I want to do the history of Push the Trash Can. And so when Alex told Chris what we were doing, Chris had to explain to him just how funny that was. Because anyway, we've got some other great podcasts to tell you about. Sophisticated Gentlemen, why don't you start us off?
I would love to recommend Studio 21, the baseball podcast. I was actually chatting with Jarrett this weekend, and he mentioned possibly having me on an upcoming episode. So that would be incredibly exciting. Love that show. Additionally, I would like to recommend Big Beautiful Diz, hosted by one of my good friends, Dane. Great YouTube channel, as well as Dane interviews. And of course, I would recommend Remy's Roundtable. I'll be on that episode that's upcoming to do my monthly trivia tour. So I would love to recommend all of those folks there. Additionally, Creators United is a new podcast of which Dane and Scott from the No New Friends podcast are co-hosts along with yours truly. So it's a fun crossover podcast that we are starting to release every other week. You can look forward to that.
Yep. And then don't forget about the Black Lincoln Collective podcast, Ashes to Awesome, where Chuck LaFlange brings us on his journey and everybody else's journey from addiction into recovery, and then Don't Wreck Yourself, where Ryan is breaks down news stories that are wrecking the internet. Cases of Continuity, the Sophisticated Gentleman's podcast. It's a great podcast. Right now he's tackling the Bond series. Episode 7 just came out today, so when you're hearing this, it came out a couple days ago. Episode 8 is coming out in a few days from now. If you are
I gotta ask Scott,
yes,
why do you always call it the Bond series? Like it's James Bond. You just refer to it Bond. Like, you want me to talk about bondage or something?
The Bond franchise. I don't know what to say.
It's James Bond.
The James Bond series. Sorry. I'm just trying to keep it short. By the end of the show, I've been talking too long already.
That's fair.
All right. Sarah, what's coming up on Nerd Archive?
They're going to be talking about Ahsoka, which came out this week, and they dropped not 1, but 2 episodes. So lots of information to be talked about there.
Awesome. And then let's find out what's going on with a mental health moment with Dr. Ed Samaro. But let's hear from Dane.
Hey, it's Dane from Big Beautiful Diz. And since I know Mary's dad better than she does, let's talk about what's happening on a mental health moment with Dr. Ed Samaro. So this episode is the second to last episode, actually, and it's titled Look Forward to the New Year with Enthusiasm and Excitement. Now, let me tell you, I'm greatly looking forward to 2023 because maybe I can actually get out of Scott's basement. But here's to hoping. So some of the things that he goes over in this episode is always have goals. Like I said before, my goal is to stop battling my inner demons and get the voices out of my head. He also goes over something called step action and how to make those goals actually happen. So, Mary, one of your goals should be listening to your dad's podcast. And one of the step actions that you can take is go to music.amazon.com/podcast/a mental health moment with Dr. Ed Samaro. So that's what's happening on A Mental Health Moment with Dr. Ed Samaro. Unfortunately, we only have one more left. Sorry, I've been going through some stuff this weekend. Man. Hopefully next episode can help me.
All right. Thank you, Dane. Mary, here's what's really funny. So before he stopped doing it, and you were telling us about this every week, you talked him up so much. I'm thinking that like this is a new thing, a reoccurring thing. This podcast started in 2020 and lasted 4 episodes.
I thought so if if it tells you anything, when I heard about it, I thought it was brand new. And I thought he was doing it all the time.
4 episodes.
Well, also,
you promoted it. You promoted it on this podcast. More episodes than actually exist of a mental health moment.
Also, to be fair, guys, my dad is my dad. Let's think about me, okay? Wild ADHD. The man has 1 million jobs, right? Like he has a private practice. He works for an insurance company. He's busy. He's writing papers and stuff for like things. Then he tried to do a podcast. I was just trying to be a good daughter. I'm trying to help him out. He's real smart. Yeah. So
Mary, are you sure about that? Or is your dad actually the doctor that's helping you out?
Oh my God.
This all makes sense now.
Oh, he is a psychiatrist.
He's the voice.
Wow.
Dynamite drop in there at the end of the episode, SG. I love it.
Lord, help me.
So check out all of those podcasts. You can check us out every Wednesday night, our second episode of the week at No New Friends After Dark. Also, every Wednesday night, we stream these episodes live as they're recording on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/NNF podcast. And then also for our Patreon members on our Discord. You only get to see part of it on Twitch. You get to see all of it on our Discord. So check that out. Join our Patreon. Become a Clubhouse member, a friend with benefits for as low as $2 a month. And you can watch us every single week. It's right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise and leave us a review, 5-star rating on all of your podcast platforms that you listen to. On behalf of our producer, Alex, Game Master Ryan, the Sophisticated Gentleman, Dane from Big Beautiful Diz, Lord Remy himself, Nick, Sarah, Chris, Mary, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.